So here we are backstage. We're in the media centre where all the photographers and the editors work. We get to shoot the first 3 numbers of all the big acts, and you know what? It's enough. If it was left to me, I'd be... Jeremy, how many pictures do I shoot in a night sometimes? A lot. 3,000 to 6,000. Can you imagine if I shot the whole show? He'd be here all night going, oh, for God's sake. So the trouble with the new technology is you can put it down from 20 frames a second. That would just kill him. He'd be edited and dropping dead. So it's 5 frames a second, short bursts. When you see something happening, you know, where Bruce is going to, you know, make some dramatic facial gesture, all this technology works now. You don't have to worry. You know you've got it. I'm absolutely impressed with the Z8. It's the nicest camera. I've not tried the Z9. I don't want to. I'm happy with the Z8. I love my D6s. The technology was great beforehand. Now it just gets even better. What more can they do? But I'm sure they will find something to do, and I'm sure I'll be given a camera to try out. But you tend to get set in your routines. I know exactly how my D6s work. I'm learning with the Z8, but whatever I'm learning, it seems to come together very quickly. I love the focusing. It's sharp. You know that it's going to follow focus when you want it to follow focus. And I haven't got a second chance. I can't go back and get Bruce or Billy Joel or you know, Pink. I mean, you know, opening night of the British Summertime, she was trapeze artisan jumping down. And when you're not quite sure what's going to happen and you're trying to follow focus on a 600 with a converter, and the person's bouncing out of frames. I've got one great frame that I love, and it's literally, she's actually bounced and she's half cut out the frame, and there's all these hands trying to reach her. You have no idea what it is, but it's the funniest picture of the night. And sometimes you do these pictures that will be a better memory for me than Pink staying there. It's what you photographed that never will get used, but it just makes such a great picture. So colourful, so much energy, and then you got the crowd. Last night I shot the finale of the crowd, of Billy Joel's crowds, and I've never seen such enthusiastic fans. All sort of middle-aged, you know, people that are doing it, but they know every word, they know and they just sing along, and they flood various parts of the arena. And when on 20mm, so this is such a brilliant camera, as I say. The gaffer tape with the yellow, orange is because I put the cameras down and I forget where I put them, so it's part of a senile thing. To do this and reach above the crowd and look at it and then go, right, press on the button, focus, focus, focus. That is so much useful rather than the Hail Mary holding it above your head and thinking, I hope it's in focus. You know, when you do that, it's in focus, boom, 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 boom. And it makes my job a lot easier. So the autofocus on this for wides and certainly the long lenses, I mean, if I press on the back, that's where the button focuses, and then boom, I know as I'm moving around that I'm, oh look, there you go, I don't have to have the camera to my eye. That's such an incredible tool, because beforehand, when you were zone focusing, you may have the greatest picture, but it's just not sharp because you've not done it. It's quite interesting because you can have the silent mode on, but if you're working with 3 or 4 photographers, there's a certain protocol where you do 2 or 3 frames, they're waiting for the click. And if people don't hear the click, they think, have you taken the picture? Well, of course you have, because it's a silent camera. But sometimes you'll be sitting there and you're waiting for the people to, and you'll be going click, 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 and then they know to look to the next photographer. Because if you're in a team of sort of 5 VIP photographers, you each have a few eye lines each. It's not a free-for-all, it's quite organized chaos. And the silent mode, which is very important now for politics, for Wimbledon, they don't want to hear the click, 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 click. And these cameras are just the green light to go anywhere now. I don't think I'll ever give up the mirror. I love the mirrorless, but I couldn't go fully mirrorless. There's certain things that I have to have when I'm working, and I love the D6. So I have a D6 connected to a 5G dongle with a cable, and providing everything goes right, as I take the picture, I look at the back picture, I make select, press 2 buttons, boom, and 30 seconds later, my editor, Jeremy, could be anywhere, or I have Anthony, who's a remote editor in Manchester, and the picture's 30 seconds to caption, and it's out around the world. That's how quick the technology is now. Beforehand, you used to take your film out, you'd give it to the dispatch rider, or get on a motorbike and drive back to your office. Literally, if you take a picture now and it's not on the picture desk within 5 minutes, forget it. It's stock. It's not a news picture. That's how quickly, you know, we've got PA here, we've got Getty, we've got Shutterstock and me, Hogan Media. You know, it's like the competition is so quick now, and they don't wait. They will go with the first picture that sits, that works. Boom! It's online. It's in the paper. It's round the world. And technology. If you're not caught up with the technology, then you know you're not competing. So we had an example there. We're at the mixing desk. Now the mixing desk is halfway back. So you've got a load of audience in front of you. We stand up on either step ladders, or I was on the riser. And as Bruce came out, some woman had spent hours with her homemade I Love Bruce Springsteen banner, and she puts it up and blocks half a dozen photographers out. That's when you see it upset Hogie. I'm shouting and screaming, get that banner down, you know, because you can't do your job if you can't photograph through a banner. Anyway, shouted, security went over and asked the lady to put her banner down. I'm sure she's got her banner waving now, but it does block everybody's view behind her, and it certainly messes a photographer's day up if you can't see what you're trying to photograph. The only other word is Glastonbury, where you see all the flags. Sometimes it works, but trying to get through those flags if you're at the, it's difficult. It's like trying to do your job with one hand tied behind your back. So we don't like that. We don't like just red light. Red light is a total no-no. It's like we're in some brothel. It doesn't work. So you can be waiting 3 numbers. The first 2 numbers have been total red light, and we're like, okay, now turn the lights on. Turn a white light on and you can do anything. You can get great images. The concert picture for me is the crowd, and there will be a certain time when all the crowd is lit up, and that shows the level of 50,000 people in a field, or you know, I'm Latitude. I did a great picture. So you've got to wait for those moments. It doesn't happen in the first 3 numbers. It doesn't really matter because you're not photographing the artist. You're shooting wide, and you're setting a scene, which is basically, look at me, I'm here, this is a great experience, and I may be wet, I may be muddy, but it's still a great experience.